It is almost May and I don't feel well. It is that time in the semester where my body starts to give out on me. I don't know why. I always end up getting sick at the end of every semester. It's like my body knows. It knows. It knows we're almost to the finish line, and this semester it's just starting. It's starting to give out a little too early. We still got a few more weeks left. I needed to hold out just a little while longer for me. I'm feeling better today than I was yesterday, which is good. It's a good sign. This was very short-lived, whatever it was, but there's definitely something going around right now. I feel like everyone at my school is getting sick. In the class that I TA for, like, a bunch of students have stayed home the past couple of weeks. One of my professors got sick a couple weeks ago. Another professor is sick this week. So there's definitely something going around. Hopefully it's not another wave of the vid. But I'm feeling better today, so that's a good sign. But yeah, April is almost over, and it's time for my update. Hey, hello, my name is JoJo and welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here, welcome. So classes are nearly over, thank God. For my seminar class, my clinical externship seminar class, I have finished my peer supervision experience and it was so much fun. I loved it. It was so much fun. I was really sad when it was over. I think it was such an interesting experience for me to be on the other side of a supervision, and in a lot of ways, like, me and my supervisee, like, our supervision didn't actually feel like supervision in a way. That could probably have to do with the fact that, like, we're both still students, we're both still trainees. So it felt more like a peer consultation sort of space. She presented one of her cases to me in each of our sessions, and I sort of just, like, explored with her, like, her conceptualization of the case, what she thought might be going on, transference, countertransference, defenses, dynamics, all that good stuff. And it was just, like, a really, really fun experience. And I also presented on it in class. I think I explained in my last update that that was something I'd have to do, so I did that already. And I'm a bit bummed because the week prior to the week I had to present, we had a guest speaker come in, and the guest speaker was supposed to still, like, share but allow two people to present, because the plan was that two people would present each week. But the guest speaker was very interesting, and I will get to that in a second. But he took up so much of the time with one person that the other person wasn't able to present, and so the week I presented, we had to cram 3 people into an hour and 50 minutes, which meant that my presentation got cut from, what's half of 150 minutes? Whatever half of 150 minutes is, I can't do math right now. 150 minutes? An hour and 50 minutes, whoa. Okay, I gotta try to speed through this. My brain is not functioning right now. Whatever half of an hour and 50 minutes is, because I can't do math right now, but my time got cut from half of that down to 35 minutes. And so I didn't get to everything that I wanted to, but still, I did my presentation, all went well, we were good. Now that guest speaker, that was probably the most insufferable hour and 50 minutes I have ever sat through. The guest speaker, he was so annoying, irritating, frustrating, angering. He was so controlling. The way he was, like, directing the student he was interacting with, the way he was sort of like directing exactly when and how that student should move and do things and say things. It was really like just cringy to watch, and I felt so bad for the student. He handled it so well. But you could see like the rest of us were sitting around, and like I kept sort of like looking at everyone's faces to make sure that I wasn't the only one feeling the way I was feeling. And like you could see in everyone's face that like we were all fed up with the guest speaker, and we were ready for him to go. We all sort of like convened afterwards very briefly, and we're like, okay, that was a shit show, right? Like, and we agreed, like, we're gonna put it in our course evaluations, like, don't ever invite this guest speaker back, because that was horrendous. That was a terrible experience. We learned nothing. We all checked out at some point because he was just so like what is the word? Self-grandizing. And like he just was speaking in a way where he thought like he was being so insightful, and just like it was like he was speaking as if he was expecting that we would be like writing verbatim everything that was coming out of his mouth, because it was just pure gold. Like it wasn't, but like you could tell by the way he was speaking that that's what he thought he was saying. Like he thought he was just spitting pure gold, and it was not that at all. So we were very much over it. It was the longest hour and 50 minutes ever. And yeah, that was an experience. Psych of Sexuality, that class has been so much work. Oh my God. I think the class ended up being more work than I thought it would be. And that's a little crazy to say because it's not even really that much work. I think all of the assignments were just so close together that it just felt like I was constantly working on some sort of paper for this class. And I have a final paper that's due in a couple of weeks. That has to be 12 to 15 pages that I'm not looking forward to writing, because at this point, if it's not related to my research directly, like why am I writing 12 to 15 pages on it? That might not be a great mindset to have, but that's truly how I feel at this point. Like if it's not directly related in some way, shape, or form to specifically what I am researching for my dissertation, why am I writing 12 to 15 pages on it? Just why? I don't want to do it. But I have to. So it will get done. But yeah, the class has turned out to be a lot more work than I initially thought it would be. Still a very interesting class nonetheless. I think a lot of people in that class have gotten very comfortable. Here's the thing. This might seem like a little mini rant. It's not. But it's just something I struggle to understand. So it's important to have safe spaces, right? It's important to have spaces where you feel like you can be open and share your thoughts and your feelings and your opinions without judgment. And this class is definitely that, right? This class is most definitely a safe space. However, I think there is a very fine line between being open in a safe space and oversharing in that safe space, you know? It's a very fine line to teeter. When a room, when a group of people, when a space feels safe and free of judgment, it is very easy to feel like you can just say anything about yourself. But at the end of the day, you're still in a space with strangers for the most part. Like, I don't really know any of the people in the class besides the few people that I interact with on a regular basis. And I'm certain that that's true for mostly everyone in the class. But very recently, there was a level of oversharing happening in that class where me and someone I know, we both looked at each other and we were like, what is happening? Like, it felt like it was becoming a group therapy session. And that is not what I go to class for. That is not what I go to class for. People were sharing about their personal lives in a way that felt very inappropriate. Like, I felt like I should not know this about you. This is something that I, a stranger to you, should not know about you. But here you are, sharing this information to a classroom of 20 strangers. Have some boundaries. Have some boundaries, please. No. It was very unexpected. The person I know in the class turned to me and made a joke. They were like, you'd have to waterboard that information out of me. And I had to try so hard not to laugh because it's so true. Like, the information that was being shared is information that I probably would not share with anyone who is not in my immediate family or is like my partner. It was a time. It was a time. I love that they felt so comfortable and safe in the space with all of us to share that information. However, I really hope that they work on boundaries, because it was a lot of information that we should not have known. Other than that, though, the class is great. Class went fine. So yeah, that's where I'm at in that class. I have a final paper due in a couple of weeks. I'm gonna try to knock that out over the next few days, but we'll see how it goes. Clinical work. Therapy is just therapy. It can get so monotonous sometimes to talk about, because I can't ever really give y'all information about my clients. But I feel like with a couple of my clients, we have begun to transition into like this new place in our sessions. This, in terms of like psychoanalytic work, like we're starting to speak on the level of the unconscious, which is really interesting to me because I find myself, like, when I'm in sessions with these particular patients, like, my head is in a completely different sort of zone. Like, I'm listening differently, I'm hearing things differently. Words are sticking out to me that wouldn't normally stick out to me. It's all very interesting to me. I love it. I love like this sort of like deep inner work. And so sessions with my patients have been going really well, and I'm really excited to keep working with them. Didactics for my externship has been like a whole different level of exhausting, and I think I'm having a hard time pinpointing if it's because like we're just nearing the end of the year and people are just really burnt out, or if there's still some tension lingering from earlier in the year. I don't think I ever fully explained this, but in my externship, there are like different tracks depending on how far along in your training you are. So there's the externship, which is for people who are still in PhD programs, or my externship also accepts like social work students. So if you're still in like your PhD program or MSW program, you are on externship. And then there are postgrads, who are people who have graduated from their programs but are working towards licensure. So they're a bit further along in their training. And postgrads, while externs are usually only there for a year, postgrads are there for 2 years. So coming into this year, my externship, myself and all of my co-externs, this was our first, well, with the exception of 2, this was our first year at the clinic. Meanwhile, all of the postgrads, or not all of them, but most of the postgrads had already been there for a year and had already like gotten to know each other. And in didactics, they put us together. Group supervisions are separate. Externs meet with group supervisors with other externs. Postgrads meet with other postgrads and their supervisors. But for didactics, we're all in one meeting together. From pretty early on, me and the other externs could feel that there was some tension among the postgrads. We described it as like, it felt like we were coming into season 3 of a show as new characters and we had no idea what the hell was going on, but we knew that some shit had gone down. And so there's sort of been like waxing and waning tensions happening throughout the year that has been sort of affecting the didactic space. And so the past few weeks in didactics have felt especially exhausting, with some like inklings of like lingering tension. And it just makes it like really hard to enjoy sitting in those meetings and talking about things. But we're almost to the end of the year. There are only a couple left, so we're almost there. But other than that, the rest of my externship's going by. Supervision's great. Yeah, I'm realizing as I'm talking, I'm getting progressively more tired as I'm speaking. I can feel my eyes are getting heavy, so I'm gonna try to wrap this up pretty quickly in the next few minutes. Okay, so research updates. Good news and bad news. Bad news first. I did not get the fellowship that I slaved and cried over during winter break. I did not get that fellowship, but it is okay because there are plenty of other opportunities to apply for. There's another fellowship that I plan to apply to for next year, that my advisor thinks I have a really good chance of getting. So we will see how that goes. But yeah, I did not get the fellowship that I spent days crying over. But we're not gonna talk about that. We're gonna talk about the good news. Good news, my manuscript got accepted. Claps for me, claps for me. This is going to be my first publication ever. At least I think it's going to be my first publication ever. To be honest, there was a publication that I was helping with a couple of years ago, like in the very first year of my program, that I know got sent to a journal by the lead author, but then I never heard anything about it ever again. Like, I don't know if it ever got published. I should probably look for it. I don't think it did though. I feel like if it did, I would have been told. So as far as my knowledge goes, this is going to be my first ever publication, and it is going to be not just my first publication ever, but my first authored publication ever. And it is in a leading journal with a very high impact rating, which I've been told is a very important thing to care about. So yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I'm not sure I'm ever going to share the article on my channel, or how to find it because there's something about like knowing that people are reading my work that just makes me cringe to myself. Like, I am embarrassed by my own writing. And I don't know if I want very many eyes on it. I'm not even gonna lie to you. So I might not ever share it here. You probably want to read it or at least see it in existence. And I'm so sorry I can't get back to you because of my own embarrassment. But I appreciate all of the support, truly. Thank you. But yeah, other than that, the other paper that we've been working on, I did reach out to the lead author to see what was going on with that because I still hadn't heard anything for a while. She similarly is finishing up another paper of her own that she's been working on for a while. And so our co-authored paper is sort of not on a hiatus, it's almost done. But to like polish it off and put the final touches on it, she just like can't really give it, you know, much bandwidth right now because she's finishing up another paper. But once she is done with that paper and she comes back to it, it should be ready to go. Almost like I wouldn't say like, we would probably only need like another 2 weeks or so to finish it up before it's ready to be submitted. So that should hopefully be done soon. And then my proposal is also coming along. We're almost there. I have a few more sections to finish up. I've sent multiple drafts of things to my advisor, and we're almost there. So hopefully not in the next few weeks, because my defense date won't be before my end of semester update, but hopefully shortly after my end of semester update, I will be able to post another video, and in that video I will hopefully be able to share that I have successfully defended my proposal. So yeah, we're almost there. I think that's pretty much it. Overall feelings, I am hanging on. I have been in better spirits lately, despite the fact that I'm not feeling well today. I have been in better spirits, and that is because your girl is on new meds. Yes, she is. And they've been helping, which is good. I've been able to be more productive lately. I also should say a huge thank you to my boyfriend. He's been like a major support for me the past few weeks, and both of those things combined have really helped me sort of buckle down and really be productive and get things done. So yeah, we're almost there. So yeah, that's it for this video. I'm probably going to go take a nap now. Thank you for watching, especially if you made it all the way to the end. I truly appreciate it. Leave me a comment down below if you have any questions or suggestions for future videos. As always, like, share, and subscribe, and click that little notification bell so you don't miss my next upload, and I'll see you in my next one.